Cuz, welcome back.
Yes, sir. Mm.
How you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Good to be back, brother. Cause good to be back.
Well,
Mhm.
well, just a quick recap of our last conversation. What's your take on the feedback we got from the ladies?
To be honest, man, I don't think all of them were telling the truth. One was brutally honest, you
Yeah,
know, which I'm impressed. Like I've always thought it was like that, but it seemed like she's a little bit extreme though. Like, damn. I'm
you
like,
know,
geez, Jesus.
gloves off, man.
I know, but the other ones were
Crazy.
like, I'll support him as like, I think initially, yes, but I think everybody's got a cutoff point. Yeah,
So
man. Look,
today, guys, today we're going to be talking about man and tribe. Man and tribe. People who
yes, sir.
drive you, the people who motivate you, the people who call out your BS.
Exactly, man.
We're not talking about yes men. We're not talking about simps. We're talking about men, people who are a part of your tribe. So, Chuck, what is a
Mm.
tribe? What is a tribe?
Um, I think it's a intentional support system, right?
Hmm,
And the specifics and the emphasis on the word intentional.
hmm,
Um, it could also be part virtual, which means we're going into the internet age so that they might not even know you, but they might still be there. I mean, you have people who are around you, which is like I would put it in three tiers. People who are around you, right? Uh, who you can talk to like
hmm,
instantly. People that are like, I'd say the intermediates, which would be anybody who's put up anything out there that you can copy, like like almost like mentorship, but they're not in direct contact with you, right?
hmm.
But they have books, they have materials. You see the way they live, they give you advice. You see how they create their own tribe, and then obviously the virtual, and they're partly virtual as well. And I'll be like, there's people who are just like the top tiers, right? Who are already winning in every aspect of their life. You
Hmm.
understand? So, and I feel like, yeah, you can go from people you talk to who will call out your BS to people who don't even know you who are already calling out your BS by
Hmm.
just the way they talk about life, and then people who are already winning, whose dust you can't even taste, but you
Yeah,
see that they're in a path and you see what is actually leading them. So it's like your intentional support system that mentors you towards chiseling out who you actually want to be in this world.
very deep, very deep. Um, just to chip in there, I mean, and it's crazy how the virtual world is growing. Back in
Yep.
the days, they say, "Show me your friends, and I'll tell you who you are."
Roger that.
So right now, man, it's show me your circle, and I'll tell you who you are. And your circle now is who you're talking to, who you're
Exactly.
listening to, who you're
Exactly.
communicating with. It's not
Exactly.
just the physical anymore. So it's deep because social media seeps into almost every aspect of our lives, and we are in
24/7.
touch. We're in touch with so much. You
Yep.
have to know how to filter BS. You have to know
Exactly.
how to filter stuff. So that's
Hmm.
cool. Network. Network is equals to net worth.
Yes,
When I
sir.
was young, I used to hear about that, your network is your net worth, all that. And I'm like, when I was younger, I just thought it was, I mean, I didn't think it was BS yet, but I didn't take it as seriously as I understand it now.
Because you weren't paying bills then. That's what.
That's so true. And then I look at the people around me. I look at the people around me. I look at my tribe, and I'm proud of each of these men. I'm like,
Got
these
you.
guys are pushing hard in their aspects of life. These guys are ready to tell me when I'm messing up. These guys are ready to call me out. I was making some mistakes a couple of months back, and these guys were like, dude, see, man, we love you, yeah. We love you, but you need to make this decision. You need to do this. I didn't want to listen. I didn't want to accept. But these guys were consistent in their thought process. They were consistent in their chastisement.
No, you're absolutely, absolutely right. Like I like to break things down into there's like mentorship and a net worth. And when we say net worth, I wouldn't just focus on monetary value. Focus
Mm,
on character. some people who are more spiritual than you, some people like,
Solid.
some people who are more in tune with our anthropology, which is dealing with other human beings and growth and evolution and stuff like that. And I'll always like, I heard a guy say once that is Ty Lopez is a guy on the internet. He does some great stuff. I like some of his material. And he did
Yeah.
say something, surround yourself with people you're better than so you can inspire, people who are at your level so you're working and growing together, people who are way ahead of you so that you have a roadmap for mentorship. So I like that analogy of
That's really cool.
net worth, right? Because there's always people who are better than who are striving to grow. And I did a course one time in marketing that talked about value ladder, right?
Hmm.
So where are you and where are you going? So you design a value ladder, which is pretty much a ladder. And at each step, what are you doing and what are the actions it will take you to achieve that? And who's around you to help you do it, right? So
Hmm.
you know what your to-do list or to-do steps are for each ladder. And you keep growing and growing and growing. And that ladder really never ends, right? Because
Yeah.
growth never really ends. So it's like
So
it's a business mindset, a marketing mindset, and I feel like it's a life mindset as well, if you get what I mean. So yeah,
I do.
the net
I do.
worth is definitely like your network, and I feel like you have to be very the word I emphasize is intentional about it
Yeah.
because that net worth will also stat a network will also involve whom you choose as a partner, whom you have around you in the future, as you mean that's the life you want and you want to get married and stuff like that. That will influence a lot of things in your life. You choose the wrong person, they will mess up that network real quick. You know what I mean?
Man, I hope your fellas are listening to this. Crazy.
Mm,
Now,
mm,
these young men who are listening to us and are interested in growing, they are going
yeah,
to start being more observant about their inner circle. They are going to be more selective about their
gotcha.
tribe.
Yep.
Now, what different characters do you feel are needed in a tribe? What kind of different people do I need? Because we can't all be exactly the same.
Roger that.
What different unique characters do you feel should be included in a
I,
tribe?
I mean, there's a lot of psychology in this. Like my mom's a professor in child psychology, so I think she
Yeah.
tested a lot of material on me growing up, right? So, so I tend to go like, okay, let me see if I can remember any tactics per se. But um, my take on that would be, first of all, remember when I said something about everything starts with the father, right? And
Yeah.
who you are, your family. I think you need to make a good assessment of what kind of family you come from. Are they are they are they business people? Are they successful in it? Is it a matriarch family or is it a patriarch family? And when I say that, what I mean is who tends to make more decisions, mom or dad, right? That has a psychological influence on you as a person. And then you ask yourself, what's the net worth of your family as a whole, right? And then ask yourself, is that what you want or do you want something different?
Hmm.
Now, if you want something different, immediately it means you need to seek information outside your family straight away because they don't have what you need, right? So that's how I go like the characters that you need. I think if we're talking financial, boom. If you're talking nurturing, you can find that in your family. Maybe that's something you might get from them, right?
Hmm.
If you're talking protection, right? When you talk about protecting the people you love and people you care about, can you get it from them or do you need to get it from somewhere else? But
Hmm.
and third is like look with himself. What is it that you have, right? And what can you? What's that book again by Napoleon Hill that talks about how to think and grow rich,
Think and
right?
grow rich. Yeah.
So when he talks about pulling together your circle and your team, right? You are the orchestrator in the middle. So you're the one selecting. And I will say this,
So,
do not waste time in disqualifying or eliminating people who bring nothing to your life or your table. Just chilling and talking nonsense all day is not progressive. It's fine when you're 15 and 20. When you're getting to your late 20s and early 30s, this you can't play these games
you
as far
can't.
as I'm concerned,
You
right?
can't.
So anybody who's fun has to upgrade or they have to go. And and it might sound crazy, but your circle for me, it has to be small, but it has to be very effective. Like you have to define what your roles are in
Yeah.
that place. There are people who
True.
are doers. There are people who are thinkers. There are people who are more creative and visionaries.
Hmm.
But figure it out and be very intentional about that. So that's my take on that.
I don't think there's anything else to add, honestly, because I mean, when we talk as men, the average. I don't want to say the average, but growing up as boys,
Yeah,
we always look up to. I don't want to say the army or the military, but then basically the special forces,
yeah,
small teams,
got
effective.
you. Roger
These guys
that.
are executioners. There are
Yeah,
4, 5, 6 guys. They're all different, but they're all designed to win. They have a specific goal, and they use their different unique skills to
roger
execute.
that. Exactly.
And man, there's nothing more effective than that. These guys are trained. I mean, I watch a lot of Jocko Willing, and
Yeah,
I see how he acts. I see how he leads. You
yeah,
need leaders in teams. You need followers in teams. But you guys
exactly.
need to be very, very like-minded. And as you said, intentional. You can't make
Yep.
anything work without being intentional. I love that. I love
Roger
that.
that.
Um, and then there was this other point I wanted to talk about. Um, people in your tribe. I mean, we've covered it all, but we're
Yeah,
just trying to go a bit deeper. The thoughts, the words, the deeds, and the actions of the people in your team.
yeah.
Who are the people in your team? How do they think? What do they talk about? What do they do? How do
Mm.
you select these people? How do you help these people? How do you help them help you? That's my question for you. How do you help these guys help you in their thoughts, their words, their deeds, and their actions?
I think, I mean, I will use an example for myself, right? I, I do, I do a military martial arts, yeah, on side.
Mad.
And how did I get into it? I used to do like Krav Maga, which is Israeli, like IDF Defense Force kind of thing,
Okay,
right? So I used to
okay.
do that a little bit. So, and this is not to brag. It's just I want to learn. I wanted to have
Yeah,
to defend
yeah.
myself and protect, right? Because I come from a security background and I've been doing that for the past 20 years. But
Cool, man.
but but that's on the side, anyways. I want to know what's up. So now I gravitated towards this. Why? And I'm just saying this is an example of how you choose your tribe, right?
Yeah.
So I was having a conversation with a gentleman at work. He's ex-military, and then after that he joined the police force, and then he got out of the police force, and we were just on task together, right?
Mm-hmm.
My man starts telling me how he's half he's mixed. Essentially, I don't want to expose his stuff. Let me just leave it as his mixed, right? And he started
Mm-hmm.
telling me about how he started getting trained by his father when he was 5. Yeah,
Mm.
in fighting. Yeah, let's just keep it that simple.
Yeah.
And and the sisters and everything and stuff. Since he was 5 years old, he's been learning how to fight, and
Wow.
that was intentional by dad, right? Immediately we struck a chord because he just said something that I wish I had when I was a kid, right? So
Mm.
that already brought us together and bonded us, and that's how we got. And then I started looking at his discipline, the way he lives, how he eats, what he does, how he never misses a day of training, how he comes in even when we're at work. He will do handstand push-ups. He will do push-ups. He will do this. He will do that. He will do
Mm.
some. He will practice some of his training moves and everything. And I'm there watching. It makes me assess myself. This guy's disciplined, right?
Mm.
Disciplined of mine. So he rubs off on me just by being there. Now immediately that's how I got introduced to what he does. And then next thing I'm there and I'm training with him, right? And I'm getting my
Nice.
ass kicked every week. Yeah. So give you a quick another example. Dude, I was talking to a dude and we were talking about what we want to do in the future. And I want to fly a plane, right? So I want to learn how to fly. So
Mm.
we're having this conversation generally, right? Because that's the plan, to be able to fly yourself wherever you want to go in the world in the next 10, 20 years or 10 years, right? That's the plan. I would love
Yeah.
to do that. And then dude goes like today sends me a school that does fly it in the countryside somewhere in the country. That's a proactive guy. That's a
Yeah.
guy, you talk about something today, he does it tomorrow. He's already
Hmm.
done that. So you see what I mean? People will show you who they are. Some faster, some slower, but you will pick up on it. I will say
Hmm.
sometimes it comes with experience and age and whatever, but you will start to see they don't have to be perfect human beings, but there's certain things that they do and you go like, okay, this guy can play this role. And
Yeah.
he's not crazy, he's not into hookers, he's not into this. This guy I can do family stuff with because he's quite serious in that area. This guy is good with money, right? So I
Hmm.
can learn that from him. This, you see what I mean? That's how you start
Yeah.
choosing
Yeah.
who you do
Yeah.
who. You all have something in common. It's not that you are all perfect, you know?
Exactly.
Knights of Valor on the table, right? Even the
Yeah.
Knights of Valor, we all had different characters, and we're kind of
Exactly.
weird. Yeah. So anyway,
Exactly.
that's my take on that.
That's. I think that's solid. I think that's solid. So throwing this to our listeners, yeah, it's important to know yourself so
Exactly.
that you're not swayed. Now, when you get to know yourself, you can then look around, study the people around you, and then start picking them. Do not be picked. Do not be picked. You should always be your own captain. Pick your
Roger that.
friends, build
Yeah.
your tribe. The last thing I'm going to talk about, the last thing is in today's world, yeah. I mean, back in the days when we talk about valor and honor, there was valor. So people come in and they have gentlemen's agreements. Hey, you're going to do this and I'm going to do that. We shake on it, but things have changed. Even back then, there was honor among thieves. Even thieves had honor in their own way. But today,
Yes.
everything is in disarray. Everything is upside down. How do we bring back valor and honor into tribes? How do we bring this back to the future? How do we inspire these boys and young men who are listening to us to be honorable?
I heard Mike Tyson say something the other day. He says, "I'd rather be respected than loved." He said,
Hmm.
People have broken." Like, let me repeat that again. I'd rather be respected than loved, right?
Damn.
And it hit me, and I thought, because that's an interesting take, because love feels really good, right? When you're loved. But they said people have broken, like people have
Yeah,
hurt people they love, like
yeah.
since the world was created, right? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But those you respect, there's something about you respecting them that goes beyond what you feel for them. It's almost like there's a way you never want them to see you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So you
yeah,
do your most best, but somehow people you love them, but somehow the way they see you sometimes doesn't really. I don't know. It's just like I gotta talk to maybe some a psychologist or whatever they call them would have to explain this one. But the human brain, that's how it differentiates the two, is interesting. And then someone said, "I'd rather be feared than respected."
Oh man.
It's an
Yeah,
entirely different thing altogether. I don't even know where to
yeah,
start.
yeah.
Right?
Hmm.
But I think at the end of the day, can you respect someone you don't love? Can you fear somebody you don't respect? Maybe something to debate and think about. I have
We're going deep, man. Going
I-
deep, man. I'm going to go back and really, really mold this through in my mind. I'm going to really think about
exactly.
it.
So I
Yeah,
think the common ground is respect, and
yeah,
just I think you guys have respect. You shake on things. If someone breaks those agreements, then they face the consequences of whatever agreements it is. Whether you're done with them, um, and you move on, accept the fact that they didn't live up to their side of the deal, and then find another member of the tribe. You know, I
heavy,
I, I think that's the way to go about it. If you
heavy.
feel like it's not that deep and it's something you can forgive, but I don't know, can you really forgive certain things? It's a different conversation for another
I will literally note this down. That's a good topic. I literally note this down. I think the final thing I would say is this: martial arts, guys, martial arts is a great way to learn how to build a tribe. It's a great way to learn how
Yes,
to build
sir.
parts of a tribe. I
Yes,
remember
sir.
back in the days when I was way younger, I enlisted into karate. Back in the days, and initially the thought process was I wanted to be a ninja. I wanted to be a ninja. So to be a ninja, you do karate and then you do
Ro-
gymnastics. That was
Roger
how it was in
that.
my mind. And then I started karate. Yes, I was young. And then I started growing and growing and growing. And what did you know? I got a first Dan black belt. And when I tell people about this, they don't believe until they see pictures and like, dude, you have a first Dan. Yeah, there are 10 Dans, and only God knows if I'm going to continue. But, but it was a great, great, great part of my life in terms of self-discipline. Sometimes I even forget. I'm like, dude, you did karate. And what I
Roger,
would never
roger that.
forget until I die was the stanza. And I'll end it with this. The stanza in karate. I mean, it's in English. We didn't speak Korean, but the coach were in Korean. So anyway, the stanza. I'll end this podcast with it. I will strive for the perfection of character. I
Roger
will
that.
defend the ways of truth. I will foster the spirit of effort. I will honor the principles of etiquette. And I will
Aye,
guard against imperpetual courage.
aye,
Bro, bro. When I was younger, I just used to recite it and recite it and recite it. But
aye.
then as I age and I go back and I listen, I literally have goosebumps right now. When I go back and I listen to it, I'm like, this is beyond just the physical. This is
Uh,
beyond. These are not just words.
100%. You're
So I
absolutely
push it out
right.
to every man again. If you're listening to this, if you can, find a way to go into martial arts.
And by the way, I
And
will say this, right? Just sorry to interrupt.
sure, I'm with you.
Just so people know, every continent has their own martial arts.
Exactly.
It's not just TV and Asian ones, Oriental ones. No, 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 no. Your tribe, Nigeria, Africa, has a martial arts. It comes from
That is true.
wrestling and a little bit of judo, right?
That is true. That is
But
true.
it's there. And
That
I'm
is true.
into the idea of researching further to find out what we have and documenting it so that we can form what we can teach people that is effective locally,
Hmm,
that is indigenous to us, right?
hmm,
That we can understand from our own thing. I believe this. I really want to do that. But yeah, we do have. So don't think you have to join karate or taekwondo or
hmm,
there's taekwondo. It's not just
hmm.
taekwondo. Taekwondo is an entirely different
Oh,
thing,
I didn't
and
even
they
know that.
have and then there's different stuff, and there's a major difference between martial arts and fighting.
Yeah,
Just so you
yeah,
remember, are you a
yeah,
fighter or a martial artist?
yeah,
Because you can do a lot
yeah.
of things in the dojo that will not work on the streets.
They will not fucking work in those streets, man.
Reality. So know the difference. But yeah, just wanted to add that. Sorry, continue.
That's deep. That's
Mm,
deep. That's
mm.
deep. And to write on what you just said. So pushing this to guys. So for someone that did martial arts is less of fighting. From what I've observed, martial arts is teaching you how to prevent and avoid fight. Just
Roger
have the
that.
confidence and the self-discipline. Being a
Roger.
fighter is going toe to toe with evil. Going toe to toe with evil and defeating it, not
And
handling
defeating,
or avoiding it. It's defeating evil. So
you
either way,
know,
guys,
I
find your
couldn't have
tribe,
said that
find what
better.
works for you, man.
That was beautifully said. Defeating evil,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So it's all good, man. Because I really appreciate today's schedule. Because I called in earlier and I wanted us to pull it up, and you were cool with that, and we made it work. We made it
Yeah,
work. We made
100%.
it work. You won't believe I had to drive out. I'm on a street somewhere in my estate. I don't even know where I am. I'm at my back seat, pushing this because some folks are throwing some big ass party there
You know
back at
what?
my place. So I'm like, what's going on, man?
That's
But we just have to
beautiful.
make this work.
Just the
Just
mere fact that you could stop somewhere and get this done, you know what?
I'm
The
telling you,
world, like we're really we're moving on to the next century, man. This is
you
happening.
know,
Roger
you know,
that. Okay.
you know. Nice one, man. I really appreciated this. One love,
Yes,
man.
yes, sir.
So
For
guys,
sure.
same time next week we'll be dropping another episode. Please stay with us. Stay with us. Grow, learn,
Uh,
be a man. We're not just here to give you guys tips for no reason. We're here to try to help you grow. We are here to also help ourselves grow. One love, man.
yes,
Cause
sir. Yeah.
bless, man.
Yes, man. next week.
Cheers.